In this video, I've compiled 42 of the best topology tips I could find from all over the internet, which I'll be sharing with you. And stick around to the end because I'll be giving away the Word template with all these tips for free. So let's get into it, starting with the beginner-friendly tips and working our way through to the more advanced topology. So before I start, these are some terms I'm going to be using throughout, so make sure you understand them. Number 1, always try to keep your mesh with the quads only. Number 2, try to make sure that all the faces on your mesh have approximately the same size and shape. Subdivide a shape first before adding details to make this easier. Number 3, don't use Boolean modifier unless you know how to clean up topology afterwards. Number 4, to decrease poly count for a game for example, select flat faces and right click dissolve faces to make an n-gon. You can do the same thing with extra vertices, X and then dissolve vertices. Use the shrink wrap modifier to attach things to different shapes. Delete an area for it and then bridge edge loops to attach it. Number 6. To fix the n-gon on the top face of a cylinder into quads, delete the face, select the top edge loop, extrude a little with E and S shortcut, then use the grid fill with these settings. Then you can also add loop cuts to make it sharper before adding your subdivision modifier. 7. If you have a triangle fan, you can fix it by first adding an inset from the outer edge, then removing every other edge from the center and it'll be quads. Number 8. Another method for the flat cylinder is to manually join the opposite vertices from each side to make quads, then inset and add edge loops once again. Number 9. Redirect edge loops by selecting edges of redirection point, press M and choose collapse, then delete the two bad edge loops. 10. Avoid placing E-poles on a curve with a steep gradient by moving the poles slightly away to a flatter surface that doesn't create the artifacts. 11. The standard method of face topology is to have one edge loop around the eye, one around the mouth, a wider one around the chin and bridge of the nose, and finally one around the ear. This way the E-poles are in the least problematic area. 12. When making a deformable joint, have an edge loop that runs around the top of the circumference of the joint. Just select the top faces and inset to do it. 13. Use Ctrl and E and then press rotate to fix problematic edges on low poly models. 14. To go from 4 to 2 edges, scale the edge outwards and then fill in the gap, just like this. 15. To go from 5 to 3 edges, extrude the middle one less, and then merge vertices adjacent to the middle to make a gap which you can fill with F. 16. The same method as I just mentioned for 15, going from 1 to 3 but ignoring the 2 outer edges. 17. To add an edge loop on triangles, select everything apart from the bottom edge loop, and then right click and press subdivide. 18. To straighten an edge loop, press G twice and then press E. Hold Ctrl to make the edge loop perfectly in the middle by snapping it to increments. 19. You could also use the loop tools add-on to do this by pressing flatten or scaling the edges to 0 by pressing S, Z and then 0. These all do the same thing. 20. You can do the same thing as 19 for uneven faces as well as by selecting them by using select similar, coplanar, and then using any of the same techniques. Flatten, scale to 0, or you could delete the face and use grid fill here as well. 21. To smooth uneven vertices on a curved surface, right click and press smooth vertices. Use Shift and R a few times to repeat to make it better. 22. Use crease, Shift plus E or inset I to sharpen edges when loop cuts will create artifacts. 23. When beveling on concave shapes, set the miter outer option to arc to give better results. 24. To keep your bevels all quads and not triangles, use an even number of vertices. 25. Use a shape value higher than the default 0.5 for a nicer, smoother looking bevel. 26. Use knife tool on a corner to remove unnecessary edge loops. 27. To stop extra edge loops from going through the whole mesh, select 2 neighbouring vertices, move them back, connect the outer vertices and then remove the inner edges. 28. Use an icosphere instead of a UV sphere to avoid the star shape on the top and bottom. You can apply the subdivision modifier and use the toSphere function to make it actually round. 29. To make a cylinder come out of a flat quad-based surface, instead of using the Boolean modifier on union, which wouldn't work for sub D, use the loop tools add-on, press the circle button on the selected vertices to make it circular where you can, then extrude from there. 30. To make a T-joint, instead of using the knife tool and extruding, which can create artifacts, a better way is to duplicate the cylinder, rotate it 180 degrees and use the Boolean modifier on union to join it, which creates good topology because they're the same shape and size. You can also then bevel the edges. 31. To create a radial model with good topology, use a plane with an array modifier and a simple deform modifier. Then by changing the count on the array, it creates more size. Use the settings shown. 32. Dissolve edge loops that don't contribute to the object silhouette. 33. Break up the mesh into separate objects if you don't want to or need to add all the extra geometry to do it as a single object. 34. Use symmetry with the mirror modifier to make it easier to have even topology throughout your model. 35. Destroy and rebuild your 3D models as much as you need to get the right topology. 36. To change the position of an end pole, use the knife tool to add an edge and then remove or clean up the surrounding area. 37. To change the position of an E-pole, remove it by dissolving it and then add loop cuts and connect the vertices that are missing. 38. To maintain cylinders while adding square extrusions, first add loop cuts like you normally would, then to fix the geometry, connect the edges to nearby geometry and dissolve the other loop cuts going around. 39. Protect your extrusions with supporting faces. 40. Localize your topology to prevent unwanted edge loops in unnecessary areas as shown. 41. Make sure you have enough edges before subdividing so that it doesn't change the form too much. 42. Don't model all the details in the base mesh. Model the base, then subdivide, then add all the details later to stop the subdivision from messing up the details you already added. And that's it, 42 tips on how to completely transform your topology. I hope this was helpful and I hope you enjoyed. Oh yeah, and to get the Word document, go to du.co.uk and just click on my profile, it'll be right there, you can download it. Alright, peace.